up, everybody? I'm Bill Bellamy, and this is Top Billin', the #1 podcast for the culture, the movement, and the discussion. Our special guest today, I'm very excited, so just excuse my energy. Been waiting for a long time to get this man on this stage. He is an incredible talent. He's an actor. He's a percussionist. The man has an amazing story to tell. You've seen his work in P-Valley as Lil Murda. You've seen him in the limited series, Madam C.J. Walker with Octavia Spencer. You will see him in They Cloned Tyrone with Jamie Foxx, Kiefer Sutherland, and David Allen Greer. But he's here with your boy Bill Bellamy today. Can we welcome to Top Billin', J. Alphonse Nicholson, everybody. Let's get it! Let's go! What?
My dog. Thank you, brother.
I've been waiting on this.
Yes, sir.
I've been waiting on
brother.
this. First and foremost, let me bring everybody up to date. We actually met in Canada.
Yes, sir.
We were shooting this really dope series about Madam C.J. Walker. You got a chance to play Tiffany's love interest, boyfriend, crazy, kind of out of place. And I was slick, you know. You know what I'm saying? They call me Sweetness, you know. I'm walking around trying to sell snake oil all day.
Right.
So when I look at your life and I go over your, you know, all your information, man, what an interesting journey.
Yeah.
You start out as a musician. How did that happen? How did you start out drumming and being a part of that side of the game and then gradually coming over to acting?
Well, first of all, just appreciate you for having me, man. You're a legend. You know, we're going to remember your legacy for a long time.
Thank you, brother.
From whatever, you know, from all the things you've done. So it's just a pleasure to be sitting here with you. You know, I started off North Carolina in the church, in the marching band, and my mom really poured into me when it came to the music side of things, whether that's making sure I had drums in the house. Shout out to my dad as well. He passed away when I was 12, but they really instilled into me being able to do whatever you want to do. And at the time, I wanted to be a drummer, whether that's in a band or a music teacher. And so up until I got to college, it wasn't until I discovered I wanted to be a storyteller as well. And so I had to choose whether I was going to do the marching band or I was going to do the theater. And so I stuck with theater in college, dropped out, moved to New York. And in order to be able to sustain myself in New York, I had to find a side hustle.
Hell yeah.
And that ended up being street drumming, man. And so for 7 to 8 years, street drumming was my job.
Was that you I gave to 22?
What's that?
I was on this. I knew.
Probably,
I knew that was him,
probably
man.
Gave me a
I knew that was him.
Probably gave me
because
you
had a hot, like, remember the cats in New York? They had like the white drum here, and then they had the two pans and the boom, but they was getting busy.
I was definitely one of those people, dog. And so you know that ended up being how I sustained myself while I was going out for these auditions and going into these different theaters and making a way for myself. But like I said, I had played in the church, played in the marching band, so that was a part of my lifestyle growing up. So transitioning to the buckets was something I had saw people doing on the streets of New York, and then something I saw on YouTube. And I said, well, I think I can do it a little bit better, or add my own add my own unique style to it. And it made a way for me. It definitely made a way, but it had a lot of ups and downs. But I wouldn't be here, sitting here without you if it wasn't for those pots and pans.
Absolutely, man. What an interesting journey, because everyone thinks it's so 1, 2, 3.
Facts.
I've interviewed on Top Billin', I think I've had about 45 episodes.
Okay.
And everyone has an interesting journey. Like, no one just was born like, hey, man, I'm about to make movies.
Right.
We all had like this nugget, then you led to this nugget and that. And then the thing about it is, too, it's giving you such exposure to people, because you drumming, you seeing characters, you seeing bugged out people, crazy stuff,
for
fights.
Sure. Yeah.
And you know, you're like, yo, don't fall on my drum set, bro.
Right.
But to go from that to Broadway, man, I saw you in the Soldiers play, and it was completely different from what I saw in Madam C.J. Walker.
Yeah.
You got the ability to just
thank you, man.
How do you make those transitions like that?
Shout out to my days on that stage, man. 8 shows a night. You have to find a way to make it fresh and new, whether it's a different character or not. And so coming from the theater, you have a lot of time to build these amazing character arcs. So I had a lot of training, a lot of just everyday going at it and building characters. So when it came to doing it in TV and film, it was an easy transition to be able to show my range. But also just working with really great actors, working with really great people, and seeing them bring their A game, from Blair Underwood to yourself to Octavia Spencer, and then some people you would never have heard of, right, on these local stages I did, and whether it's Kentucky or whether it was down in North Carolina somewhere, working with some incredible actors and learning from them and learning how to breathe and believe when it comes to these people. And knowing that I know these people, right?
Right.
I know the Lil Murdas of the world.
Yeah.
I know the CJ Memphis and Soldier's Play. I know John from Tiffany, from Madam CJ Walker working with Tiffany. I know these people. So when you know them, you just want to be honest and tell the story as best as you can.
Yeah, I like the fact that at this point in your career, from what I've seen so far, that you are taking chances, right?
Yeah.
So you're not like getting locked into a specific type, or you're only gonna be a bad guy, you're only gonna be a crazy guy, you know what I'm saying? And you kind of remind me of Cheeto, because like I think Cheeto is one of my top 5. He in my top 5.
Yeah.
And what I like about you and Cheeto is that you guys can be chameleons. Like, he can do Miles Davis, then he can play somebody slick, then he could be Mouse,
right,
and be very dangerous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
after I saw Don Cheadle in was it Devil in a Blue Dress? I was a little scared to meet him at first, because he used to play basketball before he blew off both his knees, but he used to be pretty good at that. But I was like, man, he probably crazy in real life.
Right.
Some roles they be like, yo, man, I don't know if I can say what's up to him. He might shoot me, right? Yeah. Totally different guy in real life, much like yourself. You're very, very chill, laid back. You're almost like a jazz player. You like, yo, man, my set ain't up yet, baby. You know what I'm saying? What do you owe? Yeah. What do you owe your sort of your really cool energy? What is it? Where does that come from?
Man, I shout out to my parents, man. My mom, she has her own swagger, Pentecostal preacher, so that comes with its own thing, but also just very collected, being in different rooms. My father was a doctor. And so I think he had to have some type of calm and peace to him, relaxed, precise, fierce is what I like to call it. Not like Beyonce fierce, but kind of like fierce in your intentions and what you're how you're moving in a room. And so my parents definitely gave me that. But then also great teachers and professors in school, great mentors from Dudley High School. Shout out to Greensboro, North Carolina.
Shout out.
Yeah, I grew up in an all-black neighborhood, all-black high school, middle school, and I just had a lot of great influences when it came to that, particularly the black women in my life. Pull your pants up, make sure you carry yourself a certain type of way. You're going to learn how to tie this tie. You're going to have great table etiquettes. And so all those things I just apply to myself now when I move throughout life, and knowing how I want to present myself into a room, knowing how I want my son and my daughter to present themselves,
As well.
But, not really getting too caught up in people's opinions, but just caring about how you feel about yourself. And
so that's gangsta.
That's where it come from, just the right people around me.
Did you ever have an obstacle that you thought might have stopped you from going, and now that you look back at that obstacle, you glad you didn't let it stop you?
That's a great question, brother. I was a young father. I had my son when I was 19 going on 20, and so at that time I said, okay, this shit over. I'm about to be a UPS rest of my life,
I'm wearing brown, bro.
You feel me?
I'm gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be all right.
And packages gonna get delivered.
They gonna get delivered. I'm gonna have a nice retirement check,
Right.
But shout out to a great village, and I was able to continue my acting career and move to New York and go back and forth from New York to North Carolina on that China bus. Scared that the bed bugs go bite me up,
sir.
But taking that trip and taking that risk, and at times, feeling like, man, I can't do this. I need to go back to North Carolina, be stationary, and maybe let the acting thing go. But I'm glad I didn't, because I wouldn't be here today.
Thank you, man. We need those stories, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I forgot who told me this, but they say sometimes your dream will be challenged. How bad do you really want it?
For sure.
You know what I mean? Something comes up, it's blindsides you, and you might more be like, man, I should give up. I had a interview with Rome Flynn, and his thing was he was working in a pawn shop, and he was a singer, but he was working in a pawn shop, and that was paying the bills.
Right.
And one day somebody came in the pawn shop, and they was just like, yo, man, this is a cool little thing you could be in. He was like, what?
Right.
And he was like, I think I could walk away from the pawn shop. Look at him now, movies, TV, whatever. Yeah. So a lot of times when we get confronted, for the people that are watching on YouTube right now, when you get confronted, just take a beat. Just take a beat, think about it, think about how you feel about it. Do you feel fear? If the fear is overwhelming, make your choice from the love of what you want to do.
Right.
That's what I do. I always think about, how does it make me feel my career? How does it make me feel what I aspire to do? I get lit up.
Yeah.
So this right here, just a moment.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Out of here. Yeah, for sure. It's one of those things where you always got to understand that going after what you want in life is never going to be easy.
Correct.
And so it really doesn't matter how easy someone else has made it looked, or it doesn't matter how many times you have success at that thing. There's going to be some type of obstacle, and so you get used to overcoming those obstacles and preparing for those obstacles, just like you prepare for the success. Just
Absolutely.
like you ready to pop a bottle and celebrate. Sometimes you got to be ready to sit down and reinvent something, or kind of reconstruct what it is that you're doing to make sure you get to where you got to go. And obstacles, yeah, you don't want to be afraid of them. It's nothing wrong with being a little fearful. I used to have people tell me that, and being a little nervous, you know, because that kind of keeps you on your toes, right? But at the same time, once you overcome that fear, I took my son to California Adventure this past weekend, right?
That. Man, you should have talked to me. I love that one. That would get me open. I turned 6 years old every time I go there.
And so we go out there, and it's this ride called Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's afraid to get on this ride, right? So because you go way up in the sky, you drop down. And I'm like, listen, man, once you do this, you're going to feel so good. You're going to feel like a new man once you accomplish this, you know, get over this fear. And so he did it. And when he got down, he's smiling. You know, he's screaming while he's on there. He's squeezing, holding on to my pretty baby, to my wife. He's screaming, he's trying to get up straight. But as soon as we get down, he's smiling. I'm hitting in his leg. Right. And I said, that's what that feels like. And so for me, anytime I decide to push past an obstacle or hold my peace, or you know, not cut somebody out that day because I may really wanted to, you overcome something that you knew was, you know, at some point could have held you back, you know. And so once you get over that, it's like, I can accomplish anything, whether that's a ride or whether that's street drumming in the street, you know.
Yeah, like for instance, you know, I had Nico.
Yeah, my God.
So Nico, am I saying that right? Anand? Mm-hmm. So Nico Anand came on. And
Nico Anand.
Anand. Nico. So earlier I had Nico Anand on. And he gave me one of my best interviews, right? Right. Because he was just so chill, so funny, so real, you know what I mean, about his journey and how he became this actor, right? And one of the things that I admired about him was his honesty about the whole thing. Yeah. And so when you guys on P-Valley, like, this is a story that, what I love about P-Valley, I have been in strip clubs in the South and on tour and had fun and seen these colorful people. Right. I've never seen them on TV though. Right. Like, or you might see them for a split second in a movie, but you don't go in the world and learn who these real people are and discover their humanity in these worlds. They're not just strippers. They're not just rappers. These are human beings trying to make a living, trying to get through the next day. Right. How were you able to get a character like C Murda and just give him so much life?
It's crazy. People keep calling him C Murda, Lil Murda, Big Murda.
I just know he a murder.
Yeah, he just a murder. He got so many.
It's Lil Murda. How were you able to give Lil Murda so much life?
Man, you know what? Shout out to Katori Hall, right? She's a Pulitzer Prize winning writer. She's done so much work in the theater and Broadway world, but being new to the TV, she wrote that character the way she saw it and heard it, you know, from numerous encounters with people like Lil Murda. Right. I happen to be from the black same communities that Katori is from, and not Memphis, but North Carolina. We got those same people in those communities, and so I know who Lil Murda is, aka LaMarcus, you know. And for me, it was wanting to be completely honest with who that guy is. Although I'm not in that community, I'm a heterosexual man. I have cousins who have had to hide themselves. I've had great friends who've had to be in the closet because our community and the stigma that's placed on it doesn't allow these gentlemen to be themselves. Correct. And so knowing what that fear looks like in someone's eyes, knowing what the guy who's trying to hide that looks like, it was, I think that part of it was easy. The hardest part was being truthful to it and making sure I wasn't offending anybody. Correct. And then also trying to get into the mind state of telling these stories. I tell people all the time, it's never hard for actors to get naked on screen or to have sex scenes or any of those things. Those are the harder parts. But understanding who this guy is, it's just breathing and believing and knowing that, okay, I just got to tell this story and be authentic with it.
Yeah, man, because I thought it was just really beautiful. All the aspects of it, right? You know, obviously it's a full circle character, right?
Right.
You know, people, you know, obviously you're gonna, the spike is, you know, the relationship between, you know, Uncle
Clifford, man.
Uncle Clifford and him, but it's love, it's fear, it's you know, losing someone, you know, not knowing if they're going to be there for you. That's the humanity of what I thought, what I saw was just like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then when I had Nico on and the way he told his perspective, it just was so nice to hear guys who can really be honest and say, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to tell human stories.
For sure.
And, you know, some people might not get it or whatever, but if they do get it and they see the humanity in it, they go, wow, that's something similar to my life, or I went through something like that.
Yeah, and sometimes they get it and just refuse to see it, right? You know, you'll have a mirror held up to your face and still would turn the other way and don't want to see exactly what's in front of you. And so I'm grateful that we have a team of creators who really put it right there in front of you and want people to see these stories and be impacted by these stories. And then for me, it just allows me to show my range as an actor, right? Whether that's John or Lil Murda or, you know, they Cloned Tyrone coming up, I'm able to show different people, you know, and having an impact as a storyteller. But Lil Murda is definitely, I think, been my largest impact, right?
Yeah. Because the show blew up, and then, you know, they're right, and you know you good when they start writing more storylines your way. You know when you in a series and you get like three, you go get from like 4 words to like I'm stepping out. I got to do 3 scenes
for sure.
Well, now I got 6.
Yeah.
You doing your thing. So now you got a new project. They're Cloned Tyrone. Yeah, it's a nice cast. You got Jamie Foxx, Kiefer Sutherland, yourself. You got David Allen Greer and
John Boyega. We got Tiana Paris is in there, who's she's part of the new Marvel crew now, and WandaVision. She's done so much. John Boyega, a lot of people know him from Star Wars.
Yes.
Obviously, we know Jamie from everything.
Everything.
Kiefer Sutherland doing his thing, and my good brother David Allen Greer, who I was in Soldier's Play with,
another outstanding
is in this
actor.
joint too. They Cloned Tyrone, July 14th in theaters near you, July 21st on Netflix. By far one of the most amazing projects I've ever been a part of.
Why? Why you say that?
Jamie Foxx, man.
Right.
He's incredible, bro. Like, he's such an incredible talent, and I think this is the funniest we've seen him in a long time. John Boyega is a peer from across the pond, so to see him hold down this southern country grilled up character, you know, very well was truly inspiring. Tiana Paris, man, she's amazing. David Allen Greer. I'm not gonna spoil it, but he has such a pivotal moment in this movie, right? And it's just, he just kills it. He does his thing, and then it's one of my largest films. You'll see me a lot more than you've seen me in any other film. I have a chance to play this dope antagonist, right? Who then comes around and has a change of heart towards the end. But it's basically about black folks getting cloned in the hood, dog.
Oh man,
and
that's
us
crazy.
figuring that out and having.
Do you
to
think
shut
there's
shit
some?
down.
Do you think there's some realness to that? Because I swear to God, I seen a dude look just like me about 2 months ago, and I was like, yo, man, this getting real out here in LA.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I like, it made me go, yo, is that Mimi?
Is that Mimi?
Or is that right. Like, or is that, am I him or is he him?
This movie gonna have you questioning shit for sure.
For real?
Yeah. It's
man, I gotta check it out.
Black sci-fi, black exploitation, a lot of nods to you know, Black Dynamite, and it's just one of those things where Jewel Taylor, who was the writer and director of this, genuine brother from Alabama, dreadlocks. If you saw him walking on the street, that's just a homie. But he's this genius, right? This genius mind, and he's doing the Jordan Peele-esque thing, but in his own way. And I think he just elevates this genre. And I think people gonna be out here with all the conspiracies for sure.
It's gonna be a tap in on that. I can feel it. I can feel it already. When ironically, I keep bumping into you in different places, right? So a couple months ago, I'm in DC.
Yeah.
I had a show. You're there. You're working on a project. Tell us about it. Was it called Water?
It's called Wake.
Wake.
Yeah, with Tracy Edmonds and her team produced it, along with some other great producers. Shout out to my cast, Parker McKinney Posey. Shout out to my other, I don't want to say her name wrong, but y'all know her from Harlem. Dark skin, big, beautiful hair. Shonda, I don't want to say her name wrong.
Look it up.
Look it up. She on Harlem. Not Shonda Rhimes. No, that's
Shonda
different.
Rhimes. He like Shirley
Right.
Hemphill.
She's on a
Just throw
TV
any
show
name out
called Harlem, and she has a great name, but I don't want to say
Okay,
it
we
wrong.
gonna
Great
get it right.
actress. Shaniqua Shandai, yeah.
There
So
it is.
Shaniqua Shandai is on there, and I play this crazy neighbor who's trying to kill her and some other people, and I'm a musician as well. It's coming out on BT Plus, I believe, later on this year.
See,
so,
this is what
yeah.
I'm trying to talk about, man. Diversity. Again. So now I know you actually lightweight crazy,
Right.
Because
Look,
y'all notice he put a little crazy in everything, don't he? He put a little teaspoon, a little bit. Like, he be trying to act all smooth, but he lightweight a little.
Crazy in that
man, he sprinkle that crazy on your ass, boy.
Right.
So what's next? Like, give me some let's call it. I always call it positive manifestation.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's just say, next big role. What you want to do?
Well, you know what, man? Cloned Tyrone was huge, but then I just got done with this project called Sterling Affairs, playing opposite of Laurence Fishburne, and I'm playing Chris Paul in that series on FX coming in. So that's a dream, right? I want to work with Laurence Fishburne. I've said that to the homies one day, sitting there watching.
Man.
It's Morpheus,
what you
dog.
talking about? Man, you get to work with Morpheus,
Look,
brother. You
funny,
out of here.
Funny story. I said that to him right when I said, damn, man, I'm working with Morpheus today. He said, nah, you working with Fish, baby.
Yo, he is one of those guys that is just iconic to me.
Yeah.
When we go back to Boys in the Hood, I mean, his body of work is tremendous, man.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. You're doing the same thing, maybe a guy like, Fishburne, or Fish, he's obviously got a lot more stuff in his body of work than we do, right?
Right.
But how dope is it that you're creating it your own now? There's going to be an actor 10 years from now that see your work and be like, man, damn, G, like, yo, man, you made me quit the drums.
Right.
You made me want to be an actor. Like, we're laying down legacy stuff, which is a really wonderful feeling.
Yeah, man, it's such a blessing. Sometimes when I look at it, I got this theory where I tell my wife, like, I'm going out, get the buffalo, cut them up, put the buffalo on my head, bring it back to the crib.
Right.
And so to have worked with, my peers from Michael B. Jordan to John Boyega to Jamie Foxx, coming up to y'all generation, yourself, Octavia Spencer, Laurence Fishburne, Blair Underwood, so many people who I grew up watching. Good people, man. And so now to be in these spaces where I'm learning from them, I don't take it for granted, right? And I understand that I'm laying my own path, and I do that for myself and my son and my daughter and my family. But anybody else who can follow that path is there, and for them to see
I love
it.
your energy, bro. I'm glad we finally got a chance to get you on the show.
For sure.
I want to ask a really interesting introspective question. Like, if you could look back at the young Jay, what advice would you give Jay? The 5-year-old Jay looking back, what would you tell him?
Man, 5-year-old Jay Alphonse, I'm gonna tell him to take his time. Be patient. Don't be so eager to experience adulthood, because you're gonna be an adult a lot longer than you are a child. And so take your time, live in the moment and make those memories. But go after everything you want, and I had people say that to me when I was that age, and so I will be sure to say it to myself. Go after any and everything that you want, no matter what it is, and do it well or don't do it at all, And so that's what I think I would tell my younger self, to stay focused, stay patient, and as always, breathe and believe, man.
Well, I feel like you are honestly a part of the culture, bro. You're the right age. You're the right age.
Come on now.
You know hip hop.
Yeah.
You understand the influence. You understand the impact of our culture.
Yeah.
I feel like you came into Hollywood at the right time, where there are more different types of roles. Not just the typical cop, not just the typical, lawyer.
Right.
You're playing all kinds of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they all crazy. But outside of that, outside of them being crazy, they're all very, very good characters that you get a chance to play. Could you see yourself being a Marvel character?
Oh hell yeah!
Because that's my next goal.
Yeah. That's I want
to get in shape like crazy, run through 4-5 walls, and kill about 3 people.
I need that
on some monster shit.
On some monster shit.
You ain't never wanted to be like the strongest hell, like do some Hulk shit. I'm the only one. Okay, cool.
I'm trying to definitely do the Marvel joint. I always got this fantasy that I'm the next like Rambo, right? If they did another Rambo,
what?
That's me.
What?
I'm out there,
bro.
I'm tired. I'm taking them down by myself.
You taking bullets and keep walking.
Taking bullets, carving sticks, all the shit, dog. And so that's I see that. But Marvel for sure, man.
It would be awesome
if they hit my line. I'm ready.
Yo, call Jay. Y'all, Jay ready.
Let's make it happen.
He ready. He got every other character. Y'all need one crazy superhero. He can knock that out the park for you.
No problem.
Give me I got on our show we always ask this question to our, especially to our favorite guests, people that we really like. It's called All Facts. I'm gonna give you a couple questions and you gotta tell the truth. That's all you gotta do. You gotta tell me the truth.
That ain't no problem.
All right, cool. J. Alphonse Nicholson.
Yes, sir.
Top 5 rappers that influenced your life.
Oh man, number 1, Lil Wayne. Was just listening to Lil Wayne on the way over here. All right, that way. Number 2, another New Orleans artist, Currency. Shout out to Currency. Number 3, who else we on? I gotta go with Gucci Mane. You know, just because in that era, that's the time we was on. Number 4. Who else? Nipsey Hussle definitely had an influence on me in college. And number 5. Oh man, I gotta throw Drake in there. I gotta say Drake just gave me a nice little bit of that. And so shout out to all the Jay-Z's and the Jada Kisses and all those guys of the world. But I'm talking about people who I listen to all the time.
Bro, you gotta be honest, man.
I gotta be honest.
Hey, let them be in their feelings. I literally saw Tony Yayo go at it on Drink Champs. He going for Biggie.
Oh, okay.
And what's my man name? The DJ that's on there with him. Tony Yayo is asking Ebro who his favorite rapper is.
Huh?
DJ EFN.
Oh, EFN. Yeah, okay.
All right, a couple days ago, Tony Yayo, shout out to Yayo real quick, and EFN had a debate that got hot.
Okay.
This is how passionate people are about rap music,
For
right?
sure.
He grew up on the West Coast, so he said Ice Cube.
Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
makes sense.
You know, you Superman, I'm Batman.
Right,
you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
But Tony Yayo, shout out to Yayo, went berserko over Biggie. Like it's no way. He don't understand that Biggie is influenced him from New York.
Right.
Like it's a lot on it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see nobody else.
Yeah, for sure.
He your Michael Jordan.
Right.
But like that's the thing about rap to me. We are so passionate.
Yeah.
You know, because they literally are your people.
Yeah.
Like you got a nice vibe.
That's my 5, man. I listen to Currency all the time, man. Spitter, a lot of people call him different, but Currency has a cult following. Lil Wayne, obviously international, has a crazy following. Nipsey Hussle, we all know how he was. But Gucci Mane was just kind of one of those artists where you got to be from the South to really understand the impact that Gucci and Jeezy and those cats had on OJ the Juice Man that they had on our culture down there. So that's what it was for me, man. Listening to those cats getting me through the hard times. When I was living in New York, it was a lot of Dave East, a lot of Benny the Butcher, you know, a lot of Styles P. So my playlist is vast.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah, you know, I like to keep them up to the top.
I'm not mad at you. I'll give you a little Bill Bellamy trivia real quick.
Okay.
My new artist that's got me open is Moneybagg Yo.
Okay.
I don't know why I want nobody. They ain't got time today. Every time I be in the gym, I could do 2 more reps for him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I love Wayne too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Wayne, iconic, legendary.
Yeah.
You know, he embodies, you know, the street in a way. He's got that cool, he's got that swag, and then he's just got the voice that just like he drank Drano his whole life. Do you know what I'm talking about? No, man, listen, I'm going to
right.
You dig? You never know what he's saying. It's like but he'll say something. It'll be mumbly, and then it'll just be brilliant.
Right.
He got the best metaphors I ever heard in my life.
Best metaphors.
Whatever Wayne, look at me. Whatever weed you smoke, continue.
Right.
Because his metaphors make you pause. What?
You got to run it
He
back.
say,
man.
run that back. What? Okay.
Definitely
next.
a genius.
Genius.
Yeah.
All right. All Facts with J. Alphonse Nicholson. If you could pick your next 5 co-stars to perform in your next 5 films. Give me 5 choices.
Oh man, I think number one, and hopefully this, there's been conversations, so hopefully this happens soon. Nicole Bahari.
Boom.
She's amazing.
Holla.
I would love to work with Dominique Fishback. Number 2, let me see. Number 3, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Gangsta.
Number 4, Denzel, who I haven't done yet. I got to work with the good brother Denzel.
Yes.
And number 5, that's gonna be tough. It's hard to pick the 5, but I got to go with Viola Davis just because I'm a huge fan of her and her career and everything she got going on.
Davis is definitely the mark. Yeah.
Yeah, and any of them could be switched out with what's my girl name, Meryl Streep at any time. So
yeah. That's how we doing it.
Yeah. Any of them could be switched
ain't no
out.
ceilings.
Yeah,
ain't no ceilings on top.
Well, that's what we doing.
Hey man, I really, really enjoy you, man.
Thank you, brother.
First of all, I wanted you to give a shout out to your family. You're a big guy for that. You know, you love your family, your kids, man.
Oh yeah.
Just give them some love because they're gonna say, "Dad, you ain't even say nothing."
Oh man, well we talk about them a little bit. We talk about Disneyland and my daughter, just loving on her, my pretty baby. You know, Nafisha. Everybody know I call her pretty baby. That's her nickname. So shout out to my loved ones. We just had a great time these past 3 weeks with a family reunion. I didn't go to Essence Fest because I wanted to go to my family's family reunion. So we did that. Had a great time. But that's my team, man. That's my circle. Can't do it without them. So shout out to my pretty baby and my children. Man.
Holla! Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Top Billing. I am at the close. I don't want to close with this dude. This man came in here and shut this shit down. But every episode will be epic. Every episode you will learn something. Hopefully every episode you will laugh and you will be entertained. My name is Bill Bellamy. This is Top Billing, the #1 podcast for the culture, the movement, and the discussion. And we out!
Milk is chillin', Giz is chillin'. What more can I say? Top Billing.
Welcome to Top Billing, big boy. That's how we do it. Hey, we got Alphonse Nicholson in the building. It's going to be a movie.
Top Billing, let's get it.